If you love animals and enjoy hearing incredible rescue stories or are curious about how lessons from the animal world can translate into leadership, personal growth, and even running a business, then you're going to love this episode. A little bit different to the norm, but I'm very, very excited about it. So I'm Laura, Managing Director and Co-founder of Fresh Perspective Resourcing. We are a recruitment business with a twist, supporting businesses grow their teams and keep hold of their best people. And today we're diving into leadership, resilience, and the incredible ways working with horses can teach us lessons that go far beyond the yard. We'll be talking about creating meaningful experiences, building trust, and translating the patience, awareness, and empathy that animals teach us into our professional and personal lives. Joining me today is Sarah Arthur, CEO of HAPPA, Horses and Ponies Protection Association. It's a Sunday name. An extraordinary charity that rescues, rehabilitates, and rehomes horses and ponies whilst creating a hub for people to connect, learn, and experience the joy that animals bring. She's built HAPPA into a modern charity that's more than rescue. It's about creating experiences, nurturing connections, and showing that business sense and heart-led work can go hand in hand. So, Sarah, that was a very long introduction, but welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
It's so good to have you
Morning.
here. I know. Still morning, just about.
Yeah, just about.
Both been running late this morning.
But that's okay.
It is okay, especially because we were both late.
Yes.
It's like we'd almost planned it.
Well, I've got to clean my teeth this morning, so that's how organised I've been.
That's not what you said. You said that you had one of those mornings you can't remember if you'd clean your teeth. It's all
I
coming.
definitely haven't. Definitely haven't.
It's all coming out now.
Yeah, we're all real people here, aren't we? We're real.
Put a microphone in front of
Don't
Sarah.
come too close.
She only tells the truth. Yeah, I'm glad we're sat on separate chairs now.
Oh dear.
Oh goodness. What a revelation. I think I've cleaned mine.
Have you?
Yeah, I think
Have
I've
you
even,
though?
Yeah.
Can you remember going there? Can you remember?
I do remember going there, and I even remember deodorant, which I didn't yesterday.
Yeah, that's an admission. I mean, I'm not sure which one's the worst, but I think maybe the teeth might be the worst one, especially when I can't remember and then it suddenly dawns on me. It's a mad rush this morning, getting the son ready, getting everybody sorted, making sure the dog's eating his breakfast, gone out for his morning toilet stop, and then come back into the house.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens before we come to work, isn't it?
Oh, so much happens before we come to work. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I don't really know how then people get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym. Are you one of those that goes to the
No.
gym in the morning?
No, I've tried to go to the gym in the morning, but I just can't do it. I am not a morning person at all. I hate getting up early. I hate getting going quickly. The thing I do regularly is I get up, I get my coffee, sit on the couch in my pajamas, and then I start to work, but I'm happy at home, chilling, working at my own pace on the couch.
In your own environment.
Yeah, and then like 10ish, that's when I'll come into the office.
And you remember to clean your teeth.
I remember
Very
because I'm not
important.
rushing around as much. Yeah. I mean, yeah, just forget deodorant
Bit off
sometimes.
topic, but we're okay, aren't we?
We are okay. So for anyone who doesn't know you, Sarah, can you tell us a bit about who you are and what HAPPA does?
I'm Sarah, Sunday name Sarah Arthur, and I am the CEO of Horses and Ponies Protection Association. We give a second chance to neglected, abused and unwanted horses through rescue, rehabilitation, rehoming and education.
Wow. And how long have you been doing that?
22 years this January.
With HAPPA?
With HAPPA.
Wow.
It's a long story. Do you want me to tell the story?
Yes, we do want to tell some of this story because your journey is a really interesting one. Because you've been at HAPPA for so long, you have spent most of your career working closely with horses. So I'd love to know more about the story and how you believe that horses have impacted you professionally.
Okay.
And personally.
Well, I suppose when I finished school, I have always had horses in my life. From being a little toddler, when you saw them going gee, 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 gee in the pram. My mum and dad are not a question at all. So they didn't really know where it came from.
Interesting.
But I was obsessed. Not just a little bit obsessed. a lot obsessed. I think I must have watched Black Beauty about 20,000 times.
Oh my, I mean, great
Yeah,
film.
great
Yeah,
film. And
great
cried
film.
every time at the end. Every
I
time.
still cry at it now. Yeah.
Yeah, even the thought of it brings a tear. But anyhow, I when I was young, I was very obsessed with horses. And when I got to 6, because I wanted to ride horses before I was 6. 6 was the age then when you could start riding lessons. And my mum and dad started sending me to a local riding school to ride horses. And again, the obsession just became even more. I think they kind of thought a couple of months in, and I'll become uninterested or give up. But years went on, and I still went to the riding stables. In those days, it was a little bit different. So you could drop your child off and run away at the riding stables, and you'd be there all day. Somebody was there to be responsible for you, but you was able to be there all day and do everything equestrian, and probably do things for no pay. So it's helping out stables.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
My mum couldn't understand why I was happy just shoveling poo, sweeping a yard, brushing a horse. And I'd be
Oh,
there all
anything.
day. I wouldn't eat. I
Anything.
wouldn't want to leave.
Pot noodles with Kristen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mars
Pot
bars in the tack
noodles.
room.
Absolutely. And I suppose when I was young, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I was probably the quiet child at school, quiet child. And when I was at the riding stables, I was always the quiet child. But do you know what? The horses gave me a sense of belonging. They gave me a sense of respect and understanding. Because if I was having a bad day, they'd know. It's a strange thing to put your finger on.
They're just intuitive, aren't they? You
Yeah.
just feel. I know what you mean. Like I felt like this about horses all my life. They change given your mood.
Yes.
They almost become what you need at that moment.
Exactly.
Unless they're being naughty.
Being naughty, yeah.
Trying to
But are
put
they
you
being
off.
naughty? That's the
They're like, you
question.
shouldn't be riding
Yeah.
today, Laura. Get
Yeah.
off.
But even from a young age, I was obsessed with the ones that nobody else wanted. So there was a pony there's a coloured horse called Major at the riding stables, and he had no teeth. He wasn't the most beautiful horse in the
Not
world.
a single tooth.
No.
I don't think I've seen a toothless
He
horse.
was very lazy. So when you rode him, you'd had to kick, 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 kick. But I was absolutely obsessed with Major, and he became part of me, part of my friendship circle, I suppose. And it's a bit sad to say, isn't it?
Mm.
He became my something to look forward to on a weekend. When I got to an age where I became a bit more responsible, my parents decided that they'd get me a pony for loan. They had no idea that pony probably wasn't back to be ridden. And I used to walk up the side of the road. I lived in Hatton at the time, and the horse must have been about half a mile away from the property. I used to walk up the road with this saddle under my arms all the way up.
Goodness.
I think I must have been about 10, maybe 12, between 10 and 12 then. Walk all the way up to stables, tack the pony up, get on and get booked off about 20 billion times until...
Loving life.
Loving life, but I loved it. There was no arena, there was a field with loads of ditches in, so it was great. And then eventually we got quite a bond, me and Rupert, after quite a few incidents. Incidents, I should say. And then after that, I had another horse on loan that was quite a nice horse. But when it came to college time, I had a brilliant riding instructor who worked through not just the riding, emotional and, things that I was going through emotionally. I got bullied quite a lot at school. I was called horse girl quite a lot. There was quite a big stigma for me, and that made me retract myself quite a lot into who I was. She worked through a lot of things there, and gave me a safe place to be. And when I became old enough to go to college, what I didn't realise was my mum's got multiple sclerosis, so she struggled, and I was almost becoming her carer at the time. What I didn't know is that she'd actually had a conversation with my riding instructor to say, look, you need to send her away because she's not caring for me.
Oh. That's yeah. So your mum said that to your riding instructor about you taking you away from being your mum's carer to focusing on spending time with the horses and doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until years later.
Oh, really?
Years later.
Wow.
But that was the beginning of my career,
Okay.
that split decision.
Yeah.
because what happened then is I travelled all the way to Gloucester, away from home.
Yeah. There's a university there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hartpury College. I
Yeah.
started my career at Hartpury College. I made a whole new group of friends. Horses became my existence again. So actually, the horses drew me to something that built my confidence.
Yeah. Well, they have a knack of doing that, and I do think that there's a lot of like different story from my perspective. But bullied at school, I had a pony, and he was my safe space. He used to make me feel calm. He'd look after me. I felt supported. I enjoyed him. He brought me joy and
Yeah,
happiness, and I met other friends through
yeah.
having my first pony. That I still
It's an
know now, and you're
experience.
bringing
Yeah,
into this
it's a way of
horse
life.
community. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and that was the best
yeah.
decision that those two people made for me ever in my life,
Yeah.
because going to Gloucester made me come out of my comfort zone. I was northern with all the
Too
Gloucesters,
far away.
on my own,
Yeah.
16,
Yeah.
a new place. And that took me away from something that was not particularly nice, which was school, and put me into a whole new world of equestrianism, and people around me that actually supported me, that pushed me to do better. There was horses there that, again, I had Polly, the one that nobody else loved.
Did
Yeah.
she have teeth?
She had teeth. She had good teeth. However, she was a bit quirky. She was very, very quirky, and
They're the ones you remember, aren't
yeah.
they?
No, everybody's else, no, 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 I'm not touching that horse. I was like, yeah, give me a challenge. So they gave me that horse to school and ride out on the roads. And she became, again, she built skills of resilience, because if something didn't happen and didn't work, we try again and again and again. You know, what kind of pressure she needed, pressure and release. When you're managing people, you've got to know um, that every single person has a different personality and different ways of learning. Horses are exactly the same. And Polly didn't like the gung ho approach. You couldn't get on her and go, come on, Polly, let's go.
Yeah.
She needed you to tease her and kind of like sensitively ask her to do stuff. And then if she said no, don't make a big fight over it. Come back to the beginning and start again. All those kind of mentoring and leadership skills that are applied to humans as well as horses. Major, the pony that nobody else wanted to ride because you had to kick, kick, kick. He had a purpose. He had a purpose. In the end, he was the best hacking out horse, and they could hack him out with all the young horses
Safe pair of hands.
because he didn't
Yeah.
go very fast.
He didn't go out very fast. I imagine he wasn't very skittish.
No,
Plastic
no,
bags probably didn't bother
no.
him.
It's like the turtle and the hare, isn't it? He was a turtle, Polly was the hare. So he would be the one that would keep the horses to the side of the road. He wouldn't be shocked by anything. He would be, the workhorse.
Yeah, so you feel confident and assured on him.
Yeah.
I loaned a couple of years ago actually. There's a stables across the road from where I used to live, and I said, "Does anyone need a hand with it? Looking after? I really miss it." And the owner of the stables like, "I've got a hunter. He was 17 too." And he was beautiful, but he was a hunter. Hacked him out. It was terrifying because all you could feel was that he just wanted to go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do this. I'm not ready.
No, not ready.
So major sounds ideal.
Sounds ideal. Yeah. But then even with that horse that you said that just wanted to go constantly, you weren't ready for that.
Yeah,
In your professional career, when are you ready for the next steps?
Yeah.
It's teaching you when your boundaries, and when is it right to start something new, and when is it right to move to the next step. Anyway, I'll go back to my journey.
Yeah.
So I went to Hartpury, and me and Polly became an awesome pair, and I built a really good friendship group with people that are also enthusiastic about horses. Finding my people.
Yeah.
Knowing that they supported me. I wasn't called Horseface anymore. I was
But you
now
just fit in.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, yeah. And it all kind of made sense. So I did really well there, national diploma, Highness diploma in equine studies. And then after I'd finished college, I decided that I just wanted to break. I just wanted to take a breath. So at that point, I started to run a pub in Gloucester with a friend for a year. I did that for a year, which again, oh my God, if you're going to work in the future, you need to start front of house somewhere. Hospitalities, because that experience gave me so many more people skills, conversational skills, being able to talk to somebody that isn't on my wavelength, but what would they like to talk to, finding things that they do like to
Yeah.
talk about, confidence in talking to different ethnicities, different lingual languages. It was a really good experience. Then I came back to Burnley, well, Hapton, Hapton in Burnley. And I knew that I had to come back to horses. I've had enough now of the break. It was always that itch when I was at the pub. Came back to Burnley and I was literally sitting with my mum and dad and thinking, what am I going to do? I don't know what equestrian places are around here. And in those days, there was a newspaper and you used to look through the newspaper, didn't you, for a job?
Oh my God. Well, that's how you look for horses as well.
Exactly. You wouldn't go online. You wouldn't do this.
No, you'd get,
I'm
what
showing
was
my
it?
age now, aren't
What
I?
was the paper? And
Uh,
you'd circle the part
what was
load
it?
of
Horse
full.
and Hound?
Yes.
Horse and Hound, yeah, the paper. I know. I think it might. Yes, it's a Burnley Express, and there was a job section, and there was a picture of a horse, a rearing horse, and the advert for a groom at HAPPA. So I was thinking, yeah, let's go for that job. Didn't drive, didn't have my own car at that point, so my mum.
Oh, and HAPPA is not the easiest to get
No,
to.
my mum drove us
You don't want to be
there.
walking down that lane with a
No, no,
saddle.
no, no. And I set off mega early because I didn't want to be late. Obviously, too early. So when you come down to Happo, it's an expansive road, isn't it? It
Yeah.
comes down because it's in the middle of beautiful Burnley countryside. I mean, there is countryside in Burnley, in case anybody
I
doesn't
know.
know.
I don't feel like I didn't realise until I actually came to
Yeah,
HAPPA.
it is in Harrogate. It's a really beautiful rural setting. And we pulled in at the top of the lane and we must have sat there for half an hour. Half an hour and I was sweating. You know, like, not just a little bit sweating, sweating. And I'm having this conversation with my mum and I'm going, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? Should we just turn around now? She's like, no, Sarah, you can do this. You know, you've built all these skills that you've got. Have confidence in yourself. You know, you're a different person than when you went to college. You can do this. You can do it. So I did. I went down and I wandered in. And I sat in like a hut and there was a lady next to me. She's pulling the Velcro on the exercise boots. Now she was talking.
Oh, like sticking it together
Yeah,
and again.
oh my God, it was so annoying.
Like someone clicking a pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was sat next to me and Roland, the guy that was running the place in front of me. And it wasn't a long interview. It was just like, why do you want to work here? I said, well, just telling the story about the horses, you know, the ones that nobody wanted that I've always taken in and like treated as my own and always wanted to rehabilitate horses. And then I got the job. So in 2004, I started as a horse groom at
Wow.
HAPPA on the yard.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. The
Yeah.
journey from then to now,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
And sometimes I look around the Chausey farm and I think, how far have we come? Because it used to be gravel everywhere. There used to not be so many facilities. It used to be an outdoor riding arena that we had to ride in all weathers. I used to remember
Goodness,
chilblains down my legs, chilblains on my face because it was so cold. And yeah, instantly I had a connection to the work that they did. The horses, again, I always had an interest in the ones that had the most complex needs. I've got some favourites through the years. But the one thing that really did celebrate the work that we did was when the horses had been rehabilitated and they went out to new homes with new people. At the time, they were more of a sanctuary setting, so not a lot of the horses got that opportunity.
Oh, so it was more of a sanctuary rather than actually helping them
Go to
like
new homes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
I bet that's so rewarding
yeah.
when you get to that point, and I bet sad in a way because he's saying goodbye to them.
No, but that's their end goal. That's them going to somebody that loves them, one person.
Yeah.
You know, the horses that haven't had that opportunity before got that opportunity. So that was why I wanted to stay, and that's why I've been through a platter of things at HAPPA, through different roles, different managers, different experiences, being told no on jobs that I'd gone for, and why.
What, that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it hasn't been like a smooth
Not a
journey.
smooth
It's not
upwards
been like
curve.
uphill journey. No, I started as a horse groom, then went on to yard supervisor. Then when I was on maternity leave with my son, I got made redundant from my previous role, and then I had to come for an interview for the equine manager's
Oh,
role.
my goodness.
came back on the equine manager's role, and then I ran the yard, and then it became equine and commercial. So I did both. It was commercial operations manager, an operations manager that I didn't get the first time, uh, which was a bit of a kick in the teeth. I know that's a horse theme, but it was a bit of a kick in the teeth. But it gave me the momentum and the drive to do my leadership qualifications. So I did those. And then when the CEO role came up, I applied for that and got the
Oh,
position.
this is amazing. I think based on what you've said so far about your background and your story, had you probably not worked with horses that were difficult and challenging and learnt from them, you might not have persisted when you'd been told no. Because it's
Exactly.
taught you resilience and tenacity, patience,
Yeah.
looking at things from a different way. Because I
Different
think,
perspective.
yeah, because, oh, yeah, nice plug there, fresh
Different
perspective.
perspective.
But I think when you were talking before about the horses that you've worked with and when they don't do what you want them to do, it's not just like keep kicking them and forcing them. It's what they make you do is because they're so big. You step back and go, why? Why?
Why is this
Why does it not
working?
want to go? Why does it just want to go?
Mm,
Why is it not listening? This what I'm doing now is not effective. Why you do take a step back, and I do
do.
think they teach you patience,
They do.
empathy, and understanding, and like you said before, to come at things from a different angle and say, well, why is this a no? Why is this not working? And you find a workaround with horses because you have to.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that is you whether you realize it or not, but based on what you said, is how you've come at your career with HAPPA because you could have given up when you were made redundant and not reapplied for a job at
Mhm.
HAPPA. Imagine what your life would be. Your life would be so different.
It would be. And I think that when I look back at the horses that I've worked with previously, resilience is a huge thing in business.
Massive.
Stress, the amount of pressure that you're under constantly, building up your resilience through different projects, what works, what doesn't work with horses. Sometimes you've just got to say it's not going to work. And that's what we try and enforce in our equine team at the moment. Sometimes some of these horses just don't want to be ridden. You know, they
I
have
suppose, yeah.
thoughts, they have feelings, they have
Yeah.
characters. Sometimes they just want to be, we call them paddock potatoes. They just want to be in a field having a lovely time with a friend. So
Yeah.
they have a purpose
Well, the
because they're
companion horse.
giving
Yeah.
companionship to other
Yeah.
horses. So we rehome ridables, companions, veterans. Every horse that we've got's got a purpose. And if they get to the point where they just don't want to do it, and we've explored every single thing, we've treated it like a project, we've given them veterinary care, physiotherapy, chiropractors,
Wow.
remedial shoeing, the best possible saddles, smart saddles that we use, plug there for smart saddles, hello smart saddles, and having all this kind of complex needs that's a project. At the end of that, if it still doesn't work, if they're happy, they're healthy, and have a quality of life, then we just say, look, it's a companion horse. It's absolutely fine. Just let it be a companion horse.
Because otherwise, if a horse genuinely does not want to be ridden, you cannot
No,
ride that horse.
no,
It will just be a miserable nightmare for everybody involved.
yeah.
So you just have to, because they know their own minds. They're very flexible, very intuitive. They teach us a lot of things, but they will literally sometimes put their foot down.
Yeah. And it's like people.
Yeah, I think yeah.
It is like people. We have horses that are so psychologically scarred that they can't cope with the pressure. It's almost as if they don't want the pressure of doing something more because of what's happened
Mm.
previously, and they can't cope with that pressure. People sometimes just want to come to work and go home at the end of the day. They don't want to do more. They
Yeah.
don't want to have management responsibilities. They just want to do the things that keep a business running, keep to their little areas, make sure it's all perfect up to a standard. Sometimes they just don't want extra responsibility. And horses are kind of the same. They don't want
Yeah.
the extra responsibility of being ridden. And if that's it, that's fine.
And what's amazing about them is that they convey that to us in a non-verbal way.
Yeah.
And we as humans have the ability to verbalize our wants and thoughts and feelings. And I think, well, this is why I wanted you to come on because I think we can Be a bit more horse
Be a
and
bit more horse.
and
Listen.
learn from really learn from them.
Listen.
Yeah, and aside from kind of like what we've talked about, like empathy, compassion, patience, resilience, and tenacity, are there any other skills that horses have taught you that directly translate into leadership or running a business?
The one thing I would say is that some people are aliens to other people.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, you can work in an office and you can be with somebody and you think, "You're talking a totally different language to me. I don't quite understand what you're saying, why you're acting in that way, why you're coming across in that manner." On the yard, we have horses that like particular people, don't
yeah,
like other particular people. But it's learning to mold yourself and understand just because somebody else is different to you doesn't make them less competent. It doesn't make them less able to do their role. It means that you have to then look within yourself and decide, how do I need to change my approach with that person? What things can I do differently to be able to communicate with that person more smoothly?
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a really good point to make, and that's something that I, over the years, as you know, we've set Fresh Up will be 10 in May. Um, And I never had any formal leadership or management training. I've been a team lead in recruitment agencies before, and then coming to Fresh and building a team. And I think at the beginning we probably hired people similar to me and Emily, and that didn't work. And then we learned from that lesson, and we hired a more diverse team, which has been positive in many ways. But what was really difficult was learning how to
Mm,
manage and lead a team of people that, in some respects, are very different to me and
yes.
Emily
Mm,
in how we think, how we feel, how we operate. But it's really positive, and I
yeah.
think once you harness and really understand how you can work together and
Yes.
take the time to listen and hear each other and figure out a way of working
Mm,
and learn from things that don't work and really focus on the things that do work. It's been unbelievable, and so that is a really I think that's a really good
it's almost like a
point.
hurrah moment, isn't it? You look around the
Yeah,
team and you think, actually, this works now. It
yeah,
works because we're talking in each other's language. We're not butting heads constantly because we think that that person is completely different to our polar opposites. It's embracing everybody's personalities and understanding that it's about you, it's not about them. So
yeah.
how you respond to that and how you embrace everybody's different unique needs, their different approaches to things and their specialisms and knowledge that they are so good at that it fills a gap in your business.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all about it's question. It's not necessarily asking them the questions, but like with the horses, question the situation. Like, why is that not
Mm,
worked? Why was that the reaction?
yeah.
And because you can't question a horse,
No.
you can just try different things
Yeah.
and together you figure it out.
Of course you
And there's a
do.
lot to be learned from that. We just add the added benefit of being able to speak to each other
Yeah.
and ask questions and be able to listen to answers rather than just take, visible cues. And I think once you get there, it's
Yeah.
amazing, but it's very much a collaborative working together
Of course it is.
element rather than just going, "Well, I don't understand. This is what I want to do." And if you both do that, you'll never learn or
No.
go anywhere. But yeah, I really like that. So we've talked previously about mentioned a lot of horses so far,
Yeah.
and I've been to HAPPA. For those that haven't been to HAPPA, if you can, it's Burnley's in Lancashire. It's the most amazing place. Fabulous facilities. We've got a lovely cafe, a great arena, lots and lots of stables with beautiful horses. It's an amazing place to go, and they have visitor and open days and all kinds of different things. And I've been and met some of the horses, and we've spoken before. You have mentioned one or two particular horses. I think Bertie or Treacle are the ones that kind of come to my mind who have really played a part in completely changing everything for HAPPA.
Mm.
Do you want to tell us about one of their
Yeah, I will
stories?
do. I'll start with Bertie. In many, many years ago, I think it's about 2014, he was one of our crucial cornerstones for the organisation. I was actually on the rescue team at the time. I think it was an equine manager's role, I think. And when we went out to his call for action with three other team members, he was one of the worst things we were presented with.
Really?
He was let out flat. He was losing lust for life. His mum, Kiwi, was totally emaciated, who was standing by his side. he was at his last breath when we arrived, which is quite horrible to say. And the vet gave us
It's
two.
just giving me like chills.
Yeah,
I've got
I
goosebumps.
know he's a cutie. There is a happy ending, guys. So
Okay,
don't
go
worry
right.
about
Well,
don't worry.
stick with it.
Stick with it.
Stay
Stick
with
with it.
us. Grab some tissues.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there is some
We've got
tissues there.
some.
Even I might cry. And the vet took us to one side away from all the chaos because it was chaos there. There was quite a lot of emotions from the people at the stable yard that have been presented with this.
So what had happened? Had he been found, or like how
He,
did you come to
we
be?
had a call from a member of the public who'd been on a walk and was very concerned. So
Was it a field?
no, he walked past the stable. So
Oh,
there's a
right.
walkway past the stable, and they must have looked in the stable and they must have thought, oh,
So
this
were
is
there other
not good.
horses that were fine, or was he just on his
No,
own?
Bertie and Kiwi were not fine, but all the other horses were.
How weird.
Yeah. The vet took us to one side and said to us, you've got two options. One is we put him out of his misery now, and two, we give him a chance. Bless
Oh,
him. So we all had about a powwow for 5 minutes, and we thought if we can get him to a point where we can get him on the trailer, give him enough sedative to make him feel comfortable, we'll give him a try.
absolutely. That has to be. Yeah,
And that's
unless
a
it.
second chance,
Yeah,
yeah.
unless I feel like there's a physical. Like, if there's something wrong, a leg issue or something that they can't get
Mm,
past, then obviously the best decision there is
yeah,
probably to put them out the misery. But if he does have a chance,
we gave him that
then you should.
chance.
I feel like you
Yeah,
should give them a
yeah,
chance if you can.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
So,
gonna get emotional.
so, so take a deep breath. Yeah, so 5 minutes later, the fire brigade arrived because we had to ring the fire brigade because he had to be lifted because he couldn't stand onto the trailer.
Oh,
One of the heart-wrenching things for us there was we had to separate Kiwi and Bertie because we couldn't travel them both on the same trailer, so we had to get two trailers and separate them. So Bertie was lifted on horse rugs into the trailer with about 6 fire brigade around
wow.
him, yeah, which is quite harrowing. So he was lifted on because even Foals, I mean, he was only 8 months old, I think, at the
Oh my
time.
goodness.
Yeah, so he was quite a big foal. So he was lifted onto the trailer, and Kiwi had to go in a different trailer, and I can always remember the absolute squeals of whinnies she was giving all the way back. But stays with me.
Oh,
Horrible.
I can't. I can imagine it a little bit, but not in that. I imagine the Winnies were panicked. Whereas my first pony, Mackie, he had a best friend. My best
Mm,
friend's horse, Paloma.
yeah,
They were inseparable. And whenever I'd take him anywhere without her, she'd push her nose up to her stable window, and they'd
yeah,
just be
yeah,
whinnying
yeah,
to each other. I
yeah.
don't
But
think
it was
people,
the most horrendous
yeah,
whinny. It was so I've
because
never heard it before.
she'd be alarmed.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
alarmed. But anyway, we had to stop on the way back and give Kiwi some sedation because she was getting too panicked. We went back to the farm and we were all stood there around the trail, and I can remember it to this day. And we're just willing him to still be alive when we put the lamp down. And he was still alive. We're like, hurrah, he's still
yeah.
alive.
He's
Yes.
made it.
Yeah. If you do know about horses, if horses lie on the side for a sustained period of time, it puts pressures on their organs and they can
Yeah,
pass away through the pressure on their organs. We're lucky enough at the time to have hoist equipment at stables, so we hoisted him up to his feet because we
and
had to get
kept
him to
in
his
there.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he went into his hoist. Um, bless him. It was he stood up and we had to support him to stand up. The vets were there on arrival. They followed us all the way back and took blood tests. Took stool samples, and they gave us a care plan and said, look, every hour you need to go out and check him, offer him food, little and often. Don't overfeed him because that can be the worst thing you do for him. So as a team, we all pulled together and we did like a rota, like every hour, every 2 hours. And at that time, my boss was away on holiday. So I was like, oh my goodness me, it's like big responsibility.
Oh my God,
So I had
such a
to
risk.
live
Well,
in,
this will be why he's so memorable for
yeah.
you.
And I was living in the house because she'd been gone on holiday. So it's like, yes, I can do this. We can get the team together. We've got to do this. We pulled us all together. Every hour, 2 hours, we were out feeding him, making sure he was okay. Kiwi was in the stable with him, so she was happy. I can always remember the vet told us that she was a body score of 0, and if you research that, that means literally near death,
Oh
0.
wow.
She was so emaciated.
Like, what should their body score be?
3 or 4.
Wow.
3's good, 4's a little bit podgy. That's how we.
I mean, a 3.5.
Yeah, I'm about 4, maybe a 5 myself, but yeah, 3 or 4.
Depends on the time
Yeah,
of year.
yeah. That's our winter. So the vet said to us, Nick, the vet said, the reason why she's still alive and she's still standing is her mother intuition. She was only still standing because she wanted to make sure her son was okay.
Oh, well, you can understand that as a mother yourself.
Yes. So she was quite poorly. So what we're trying to do is balance the two, because obviously sometimes it's not the victim, it's the sidelines person that's the problem. So
But
obviously
but they don't present as loudly, so you don't necessarily
So
notice
Kiwi,
them.
it was really important that Kiwi had all the care as well as Bertie that we could, because she could very quickly go downhill.
Well, yeah, because they say if there's been I don't know, big accident and paramedics are there, they don't go to the people that are making noise because
No.
they're making noise,
the
so they
quiet.
almost overlook them to focus on the people that probably they see to be injured more.
Yeah.
Because you have to triage in some way.
Yeah.
So I completely understand how you could have missed.
Yeah. She had
Kiwi.
rain scald. She was very emaciated, but she was happy because she had her son back, because that journey in the trailer was
Oh
just
God, that was so
so
heart
hard for equestrian people to listen to that all the way back. I mean, that journey seemed to go on forever. So we got them all back to the stables. I'm going off a bit off topic again, like I normally do. Got them back to the stables.
No, I'm probably the worst person to interview someone about horses, because I could literally talk about horses.
We could be
all
here
day.
for hours. I'll have to come back. Anyway, so we had them both in the stables. Of course, Kiwi had blood samples and stool samples and everything taken as well. Bertie had quite a plumped tummy, and when we got the samples back, he was absolutely riddled with worms, and that was why his tummy was so plump.
Okay.
He had, on further inspection, there was a smell when you walked into the stables, and we kind of missed it, but we hadn't. We knew that he must have had wounds somewhere, because that smell, like the pussy smell, like infected.
Yeah.
So after further examinations by the vet, he had a really open wound under his left leg. He had one on his chest. And it become septic, so he was suffering from septicemia as well at the same time. Of course, his body then was reacting to that, and that was why he was so poorly. He had
Right.
worms and he was getting he had
Oh my
septicemia.
goodness.
We then found out that he'd actually been chased around the field and attacked by a dog, and that's why he had the open wounds on his
Oh.
legs. So that again is not a good thing for him to experience. And we had to bathe his wounds every couple of hours. We had to feed him every couple of hours. We had to leave him in the hoist until he was strong enough to be able to stand on his own. And day after day, that experience changed our approach to rescue, because what it did is brought together a team of people that before were constantly fighting, constantly had issues with each other. But actually, it brought us all together on the yard and the whole organisation as a team, because we had one common purpose. We were going to do what we had to do to save those horses.
Yeah.
We had to, because we'd made that choice. We've given them a second chance.
So
We're
it's
now
like
responsible.
a pivotal moment for HAPPA.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I first started at HAPPA, it was quite toxic. It's quite a toxic environment to walk into. But that changed the perspective.
I think some stables can be like that. And I've experienced that a little bit, so I couldn't completely understand that.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, because of the people that I do think gravitate towards horses, the quiet people, the people that might feel a little bit like a loner,
Yeah.
bullied at school,
Exactly.
you're not always a team player, I think, when
No.
you first explore the equine world, because you're gravitating towards the horses. They're your sanctuary and not the people. And so I do think everyone goes as an individual, separate person to stables.
Yeah.
So I do think that's sometimes why there's less of a team dynamic at the beginning.
Yeah.
Until you have to work together.
Until the trauma and the crisis
'Cause
situation.
it's not a team sport necessarily,
No.
is it really?
No, it's not. We all came together and we all started to talk more, communicate more. We started to support each other.
Fabulous.
We started to, celebrate the quick wins. For example, if he'd eaten the bucket of food, it was like, woo! Yes,
yes,
we've done it.
absolutely.
After he'd finished his antibiotics, the smell started to go, the bathing of the wounds became less and less. He started to come out of his hoist. Kiwi started to put weight on and the sparkle. And it's very strange to explain it to people that don't work in animal rescue. The sparkle started coming back in their eyes, like interest in life.
You
Be-
can just tell when they're not interested in life and when they are.
Mm,
It's the same with people.
yeah.
You
When they
can
come
see
to
when
you.
someone's
Yeah.
low and
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah. Kiwi went from staring at the corner of the stable to actually being interested in Winnie when we came down
Oh,
the stable block. And he came out of his hoist and we had to every morning then put the hoist fan in and pick him up. So it got to the point where we had to put it under him, pick him up to make him stand, and then he'd be all right for the day, and then he'd lie down at night. In the morning we had to pick him up again.
yeah.
But the one moment that sticks with everybody at HAPPA was the morning that we walked down the stable yard and he had his own head over the door.
Oh,
His
and
own head. He was like, "Hello, I'm happy to see you. I'm okay now, everybody."
fantastic. Oh,
All
that
that
must have been
trauma,
so amazing.
all the trauma he'd been through. It
And
was
when how old is he? Is he still around
Oh,
today?
yeah, yeah. Bertie then went on to change our whole rehoming scheme.
Wow.
'Cause he was a young horse, at the time we'd been more of a sanctuary, and he could have been there for quite a long time, not with a purpose. His mum could have been there for a long time and not gone on to find their own private one-to-one place.
Yeah.
So what he did is changed our whole perspective on the rehoming of the horses. Because if he's given the chance to go out to a new home, that's what he should be allowed to do. We have no right to keep them. They're not our horses. They should have a right to go on to a home with a person that loves them. They're the centre of their attention. Of course, they are our centre of attention at HAPPA, but
Yeah,
there's
I
only
understand what
so
you
much
mean now.
time you can give to them when you've got so many horses on the yard.
Because they're like a big dog, really. And I think a lot of people don't see it like that. Like, you wouldn't keep a dog in a rescue kennel
No.
because you would want to be home so that they can join their family and be the
Find
pet
their people.
and support children and go on walks and, support their owners through all kinds of different things like dogs do. And horses, not as common because they're larger, take a lot more looking
Of course
after.
they
But
do.
they are still part of someone's family and life. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, when he got to 4, I think it was, he started his ridden career. So we backed him. He grew to about 16.3. He was a
Oh,
big
wow.
horse. Big horse. He was a very nice looking horse as well. He was well bred. You could tell. He'd had a lot of thought going into his breeding. So I don't know why he was left in that condition. He got to 4. One of our equine care officers broke him to ride. He was a really good riding horse. I backed him.
Oh,
I remember getting
fantastic.
on him the first time. It was awesome because
Oh.
he gave us that trust back. So we rehabilitated him, but actually he got to the point where he trusted us enough for everything that he's gone to let somebody sit on his back, that's amazing, isn't
That
it?
is amazing because that's just 100% trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went on to win shows with us at Equifest. He got placed at Equifest.
Oh my goodness.
And then he found his special person. So he got rehomed to a lovely lady called Mary Hen. And now he's he's getting quite elderly now. So he's retired with Mary Hen as well. So he's still there. And he's living his best life. And she will never, ever, ever expose him to welfare. She'll never mistreat him in the rest of his existence. And that's what we want for the
Yeah.
horses.
Oh,
It's
that
not
is-
just about us and the work we do. It's the people that support us by taking the horses. Because they're
Oh,
doing such a nice
absolutely. Yeah.
thing. And they're giving back to horses by giving them a second chance. And again, second chance has been mentioned a few times, and that's what we do. We give horses second chance now. It's not about us keeping them. It's about giving them a second chance of life for the rest of their existence.
So they can fulfill their destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Black Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
you'll get me going. Like, Emily would love a pony for Billy.
Yeah.
So Emily, for those that don't know, is my sister and business partner, and Billy's my niece. She's 4 now, so she can start riding soon, which is
Oh, she's
very
a little
exciting.
me.
And she wanted, well, I mean, a separate conversation probably to this podcast, but with the whole second chance and the rehoming, do you get smaller ponies?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We've got Treacle. She's a small pony. She's going to be looking for a home soon as a lead rein pony.
Oh.
There's a whole story of Treacle. She was found abandoned. She'd been abandoned during falling, and the fall had passed away inside her.
Oh my goodness.
So what these naughty people have done, had abandoned her because they didn't want to pay for the vet costs to take the fall out. So we had to send her to the veterinary care centre to get that done. She obviously lost lust for life when she came to us because she'd been through so much trauma. However, now she's trusted us enough to be able to put a saddle on, and
Amazing.
hopefully trusted enough to then be able to put children on because she loves children.
Oh,
She
oh, I love
does.
it. I think people don't realise that their animals have feelings and
No,
they
they do.
form relationships with each other.
Yeah.
And you see that with horses, I think. When you separate them, they're very vocal about, hey, where you
Oh,
taking
yeah.
my friend? And
Have you
you,
ever seen a donkey though? Do you know about donkeys?
no, no, I mean,
Donkeys go to a whole new level of friendship. You do know if a donkey, if they get a companion, you can't separate them
no,
for
I
the rest of
didn't
their
know that.
life.
Oh my goodness.
Donkeys literally form when they're locked in with a horse or a donkey or a sheep. We've had
Yeah.
sheep before which are locked in with donkeys. They cannot exist if that other
Oh,
person's taken away. They will literally make themselves extremely poorly, even close to death, by mourning the other thing if you take them
wow.
away from
Oh
them.
my goodness, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're very much companion for life.
It's like it's illegal in a country, one of the Scandinavian countries, to have only one guinea pig. You're not allowed to have one on its own because they
Oh,
have
save
to
the guinea
be together.
pigs.
Yeah, so the guinea
Oh,
pig's very similar to donkeys, but
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Oh, but I love these stories, and I know it's you get you can see the emotion as you talk about it. It makes me feel emotional because I love horses and all animals, and like when you're talking about it. I don't know, I can't help don't know if it's because of what I do in recruitment, and hiring people and the journey I've been on, but when you're talking about give them a chance, support them,
Mm,
little and often,
yeah.
trust, and then where they can go and fulfill their destiny
Mm,
with just some support and some work. It just makes me think about people and
yeah.
who we hire into our businesses and some of the people here, well, they've been, timid and very shy and quiet when they've joined. And, you could have been overlooked, but by working with them and understanding them, giving them support, little bits of responsibility, little and often and gradually rather than just yes, some people can be thrown in the deep end, but I don't think everybody can.
Everybody doesn't
Some
know.
people will
Mm,
sink and it needs to be a gradual thing. And I think it just really it helps me, it just relates it back to people who you hire, giving different people different chances and giving them different pieces of support, and then they'll just turn into your superstars with some trust and
superstars.
some patience.
Or sometimes I celebrate, and it sounds strange when I say it out loud. When somebody that's coming to HAPPA, he's developed enough to want to go and do what they want to do in the business world.
Yeah.
I celebrate that because
Absolutely.
that's
Well,
what we're here to do as business leaders.
yeah.
We're here to develop people, to mentor them, to build their confidence, resilience, be able to cope with stress, being able to look at things differently. It's what we're here to do as business leaders. And I
Yeah.
think that sometimes there's a big stigma about people leaving and finding different careers. Well, that's our work done because you've now developed people that want to go out into the industry and do their bigger and better thing that they've always wanted to do, and
Yeah.
that's what we're creating.
It's like the rehabilitation and the rehoming of the horses. It's like the development
And
of the people, and then they're not, it's not their second chance. They're just going to their next
the
opportunity.
next steps in
Yeah, and
life.
it's to be part of their journey is humbling. It is emotional for me when people have said they want to leave because I don't want them to
No,
leave, and then you do take people that don't take it personally. I think that's hard because you've brought them on, you work with them, and then they leave. You do feel that, and I think you should feel that as a leader. And if you
because you've
don't,
invested time,
yeah,
your patience, your mentoring, your time into developing them
yeah,
into the
and you care
person.
about them.
Of course you
You
do.
don't want them to go all the time, but I think after you've processed it, you're like, no, you then like, I played my part in that person's journey,
Of
and that's
course you have.
amazing.
And that should be celebrated.
Yeah. So what do you think? So we've talked a lot about like the link between people and horses, which was something that I wasn't expecting to come out of today's podcast, which I love, and what we can learn from horses. Are there things that people can do? So I've heard of like therapy with horses, where people who are struggling can go and actually have therapy, equine therapy. Like, can you talk more about that, or how can we learn from horses, or I don't know, not heal, like, deal with situations through spending time with horses? Is it an actual thing? Can
Yeah.
business people come and spend time with
Yeah.
horses and learn from
Yeah.
them?
We don't do
Really
this.
long-winded way of
We don't
asking
do
that
the
question.
therapy because we don't have the qualifications in the therapy. But what we do offer is Shaw's A Farm. We do offer businesses a place where you can bring a team. You can do horsey things all day long. You can relieve your stress. You can work in a rural environment, all the sights, the smells, different environment for you to work in. And that is an opportunity to get up close with the horses, because the horses will heal you. Not the people, it's the horses. And even being with them and grooming them in a horse way, guys, not, I'm not,
Yeah, with brushes.
with brushes. Yeah, when we say that, sometimes we've got to be very careful. Brushing the horses and being with them and spending time with them, you just
Like
forget.
horsescaping.
You just, horsescaping. You just literally forget all your worries.
Because yeah, I know what you mean. It's
It takes you totally out of your normal existence and puts you in a total different environment, and you are there and you're experiencing something that it's a lifetime experience. If you've not been around horses, I would really, really appeal to you to just go to a stable yard and just spend some time, because they are so empathetic and they find the people that are the naughty people too. So we've had they
Talk more
know.
about this.
They know. Well, I kind of like similarise it to my mum and dad had a dog, and there was this one person that used to come to the house, and the dog hated this person. I'm not going to say who it is. That every time he came, like every year, to do something in the house, but he hated this person, and he would not let it drop. Literally, they had to put him on lead because he would not leave this person alone. Years later, it was found out that he was actually prosecuted for something that was extremely naughty.
Oh, and the dog knew.
Dog knew,
That's
but
so
it's
clever.
same as horses.
Yeah.
Horses know. Horses know. They don't tell lies. So you can literally have somebody that turns up and they think, oh yeah, I'm going to beat this system. But they know. They know.
So really, we should all use horses in our interview process.
You should. You should have one. You should bring one to the office.
Oh my god, I would love that. I mean,
Little Shetland.
We are moving to the ground floor.
I think we
this
should.
year,
I think you should have a Shetland in the office. You should have a
Oh,
Shetland.
I agree.
Office Shetland. And again, that is something that we've learned is, again, through the interview process, for us with the horses, we have to bring the horses into the mix with the grooms.
Of course, yeah.
And they tell you, and we've had people come for the interview and try and lunge them and they just won't move. Just won't move. Never happened before. Just won't move.
Oh my goodness.
So they're telling us which ones we
Yeah.
should pick, which ones we shouldn't pick.
Wow, love
I had an experience where we had a group of people that came to Shawsday Farm and they were offering, a bit like you said, therapy sessions. And a horse called Cupid was one that came in with me. And I was totally on the fence about this experience. I wasn't sure on whether it's something that I really wanted to do. I wasn't in a great time, having a great time at that in my personal life. I wasn't in the best mindset to do the session. And these two people walked in and I walked in, right, unclip Cupid. And I would not tell a lie, he came and he stood dead set between me and these two people and stood there.
Wow.
When I moved left, he'd move left. When I moved right, he'd move right. He was stood there. And they said to me, round the horse, because they couldn't see me, the top, like, are you okay? Please tell me how you're feeling.
Yes, this is just my security guard.
Please tell me. I just don't think this is for me. I really, at this moment in time, I don't think this is an experience I want to do at this moment in time. I feel like I'm not going to get the best out of this experience. And I feel like I don't really want to be here. And they said to me, do you know what? He's telling us that because he's literally stopping us, blocking us from talking to you.
Wow. That's amazing.
And until you've seen something like that and you realise they're so intuitive, they literally know your psyche. They can hear your heartbeat. They can actually hear your heartbeat, can horses.
Wow.
They can hear your heartbeat and they can smell. That there's such a strong sense of smell. They can smell fear. They can smell stress. They can smell nerves. So they will read you as soon as you walk up to them. And that's where we're on a mission to try and get business leaders and people to understand is you can come and see the horses, but they won't lie. They'll tell us how you're feeling. They'll tell us what you're doing. They'll tell us what kind of mindset you're in that day.
So you'll learn a lot from having a day with the horses. As a person, as a business person, you'll probably learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe if you brought your team, you would learn a lot about them as well and how they might be feeling. That's really interesting.
Had
I
pe-
can't wait. I wish she brings the fresh team up.
I think you should. I think you should come and do a session with us.
Yeah, I think we should.
We've had people in the indoor arena and again leading the ponies. Some people they'll follow without a lead rope because they're the leaders. And they'll tell you which people in your team are leads, quiet leaders that you don't know are leaders.
Oh, I love this.
But then you can have people that are leading them and they just won't move. And then there's the whole
That'd be an
experience of
awkward
going,
moment.
yeah, are you okay? And some people have cried because actually the
They do
feeling
bring
stuff
out the emotion. It's a
it
weird thing, and I don't think.
make you feel safe.
Yeah, I don't think people, if they've never really been around horses, they can't understand it.
No.
But I get it, and they have they can just have a weird impact on you.
Yeah. You can have groups of people and let the horse off, and that horse will be attracted to one person in the team. And there'll be a reason. It's either because they're struggling with something, or because they are the leader in the group, or it's because there's something, but there'll be one person that horse will navigate towards. It's a real experience that I don't think you can explain enough until you're
Yeah.
actually in that situation
Yeah.
and when you're living it. Because horses have taught me, I owe a lot to horses, and that's why I dedicate my life to horses. That's why I'm doing what I do, because I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't be a CEO at another business. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm giving back to the horses and the things they've done for me on my
Yeah.
career. And I probably
love that.
will. I was saying to my mum, I'll probably have a rearing horse on my grave when I die, because that's what
Oh.
I've done. That's why I exist. And I have people in my team that are exactly the same. I've had people that have worked for us longer than me, 25 years, because horses have done a lot for them. So they're repaying them by doing the work that we do.
Oh, I love this, and this nicely brings me on to my last question. Like with the way that you've talked about how that this is the reason you exist and how they've helped you, and therefore why you've helped them. What 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 is the thing out of all of that that makes you the most proud?
The most proud is HAPPA.
And what you've done. Oh,
What
it's an
we've done.
amazing place.
What we've done, not just me, the team, the people that work from us on off over the years, the supporters. We don't get any government donations. We don't get any grants. So everything that you see at Chaudet Farm exists because of support and because of people donating or people giving money or thinking about us and, at the end of their life, leaving legacies to us. It's not just me that's created that. It's the whole circle of people that
Mm.
surround us and all our stakeholders. Without that, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't exist.
Well, you will know because you are a charity, and I
Mm.
think you've talked to me before about that you charities. Whilst yes, it's a charity, you still have to operate like a business, and I think you've done great things to do that, like with the cafe, so
Mm.
that you've got a lot of revenue generation. But yeah, you rely on your community to fundraise, to
Yeah,
donate, to leave the legacies in the wills.
yeah, we do. It's harder than it ever has been over the 20 plus years that I've worked there. It's harder now than it's ever been. And that's because people have less disposable income, the cost of living crisis, and we almost kind of feel afraid to ask sometimes because we understand that. It's hard for people to put their priorities where they want them to be. Which charity do they support? So what we're trying to do is create a hub at Chaudet Farm where people can come and experience and celebrate the work with us. We have a meeting room for businesses which is free to use if you just want
Yes,
to
I've
have your
been. It's
lunch.
beautiful.
Yeah, we have a lovely cafe. We do Owner Pony Days where we're educating children, a bit like myself, children that want to come into the industry that don't have the opportunity anymore because the stable yards where my mum and dad used to drop me off and run away, they don't do that because of
So
insurance.
not all, the one I learnt how to ride at isn't even there anymore. It's a housing estate.
Yeah. So we're trying to create a place where children can come and experience the things that we experience when we're younger in a safe environment and with the rescue horses that want to do that with the children.
Yeah. And I think, could you say you don't like asking? I suppose it's like a business. So with Fresh, I need to go and attract customers and I sell our service. They pay me money and they get something in
Mm.
return. As what you've done with HAPPA is very similar to that, and not all charities can say that. A lot of charities say fundraise, donate, give us money, and they don't necessarily get anything back apart from the good feeling that you've done a good deed
Mm,
and you've positively impacted someone else's life. Like that is there's a lot for that. But then, like you said, there's a lot of charities,
yeah.
and but what you've done by doing all the different things that you with the teen days at Own a Pony,
Mm,
all the various different things that you guys do, you are giving something back in return for the
yeah.
donation.
It's
So you're
feeling
not
that warm. It's
asking.
feeling warm, making
It's a
people feel warm and
yeah,
fuzzy inside, and ensuring that they're taking away something about horses that they've learnt.
it's a trade. So they're
Mm,
donating to you, but you're giving them something back in
yeah,
return. So it's just a transaction. It's very much like a business transaction,
it is.
but it obviously
And we
it's
have
different.
everything that businesses have: strategies, project management. We
Yeah.
have KPIs.
Well, you are a
KPIs.
business, but it's just a different type of business. You still have, income and
And yeah,
outgoings, and
yeah.
having to manage your balance sheet and
And
profit
but
and
a little
loss.
bit less predictable.
Yeah.
So we can have a large legacy like last year. We were very fortunate in we were able to refurb the cafe. We got a bigger kitchen. We were able to do that because somebody had left us money in their will.
Oh, was that just one person had
One
left you?
person.
Oh, amazing!
And what we
I didn't realise that that's how you'd funded the
Yeah,
cafe.
yeah, it's somebody. So that's in their memory. They've allowed us to
Oh,
do that. We have like projects and proposals in the background. So if that happens, because we can't kind of predict when that's going to happen. So
unfortunately,
year
no. You
after
can't
year,
predict if people are going to pass away,
no,
and
we
also you
can't.
can't predict what they're going to leave in your wills
No,
unless they tell you
which is
beforehand.
never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But everything that we get in through legacies, we try and spend on something that's like fixing the charity's future. So making us
Yeah,
more
more
financially
impactful and long
sustainable.
serving, so that it's in their memory.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
that's
love
how
that.
Chausey Farm is a memory. That's a memory. It's memories of me on the yard with the horses, sweating at the top of the lane. To children that used to come when we had the adoption scheme. I have an employee that works on the yard now. I used to hold the horse when she was grooming in the adoption block.
Wow.
Little, what was she called? Calpurnia. And that's how she started in equestrian. We gave back to her by opening up that thing for her to do with horses, to then decide in the future that she wanted to work with horses. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh.
it's creating little equestrians of the future.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I love this. We've got one in the making in the family, which is great.
Oh, she needs to come up.
She does, and the On a Pony Day sounds really cool. I think she'd like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of brings us to the end of the podcast, and I've absolutely loved it. Could talk to you all day. We do have a little game that we play at the end. It's called Fresh or Stale. So I'll say 5 things. You need to tell me if you think it's stale or still fabulous and fresh, and why. Now, I've not put these together, so I don't know if you spoke to Rachel about these, or are these just random things, because they do seem very random.
Of
Okay,
course.
buttons.
Ugh. Don't. I'll be sick of that. Oh, I've got small ones on today because I'm trying to teach myself to wear them. But I have this thing where I can't cope with. I think it's an actual thing. It's an actual thing. I've researched
Like
into
a
it.
button phobia.
Yeah, button.
You've done well, because you are
I've
wearing
tiny
buttons.
ones. I can cope with these. But it's a thing. Buttons is a thing, and it's an actual thing. It's a medical condition, guys. It is. Apparently, when you have loads of holes in a pattern, it goes back to the cave days where it meant that something was either not good, or the floor would
So if
be.
it's a large, I mean, I won't say it because I don't want to set you off. If it's a large button with lots of
Oh no, please!
holes where they
No,
would
I
stitch.
just can't look at it.
Right, okay,
Just
let's
can't
move.
look at
All
it.
right, city
Yeah.
breaks.
Stick, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah,
Fresh or stale?
fresh, depending on where it is.
I imagine you probably prefer a city break rather than a big holiday, because you won't want to leave the horses.
Yeah, not too long.
Homemade mac and cheese.
Oh yeah,
See, these are not seen as random now.
that's dreamy.
Rachel's obviously done her research well.
Yeah, homemade mac and cheese is the best. And what do I say to that if it's the best? What am I saying? Is it's
Oh, fresh.
100% fresh.
Fresh and
It's the
fabulous.
best thing ever.
I don't think I've ever. You're gonna hate
It's got to
it.
be
I don't think
home.
I've
It's got to
ever-
be homemade. My mum, I think it reminds me of being at home. It's
It's like a comfort food.
comfort
Yeah.
food.
I don't think I've
It's
ever had
something
mac
that you
and cheese.
shouldn't eat because it's very, very bad for you. So I don't really, not on a regular basis, but
Not
it's
every day for
best
lunch.
thing ever. Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
Okay, next one, award ceremonies.
Fresh.
Lovely, especially the freshies.
The freshies.
And egg sandwiches. These are so random.
In an office environment, no.
No, I was on a train once and someone had egg sandwich. He had just boiled eggs. I'm like, oh no.
But at least with boiled, at least you didn't have the bit of the yolk coming down the chin. That's not a good look, is it?
No, it's not.
I think egg sandwiches are something that you should eat in private, not in a community
Yeah,
space.
or outside.
Outside, yeah, outside with a bib on. Yeah.
Oh,
So
and on that-
fresh-y kind of. Yeah.
Fresh-ish.
Yeah,
Right,
ish.
okay. Yep, so on that's the final note on the podcast. If you're eating an egg sandwich, eat it outside with a bib on. There you go.
Not in a communal space.
Who said you weren't going to get key takeaways and tips, value add from this podcast about horses? There's been so much and I've absolutely loved it. There's so many things to take away and relate to horses. I'm really excited for people to listen to it and excited to do more
Oh, thank
with
you.
the charity ourselves. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for
coming
having
on.
me. And just to say thank you so much for what you and Emily do for the business community.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know whether you get told thank you because you're doing some awesome things. I think the awards are amazing.
Thank you. That really means a lot.
Celebrates the
I appreciate
business
it.
community.
It's hard work sometimes, but it is worth it. And especially when people say lovely things like this.
Yeah. Thank you.
So where can people find you? You're on LinkedIn, aren't you?
I am Sarah Arthur on LinkedIn. Horse and Ponies Protection Association's on LinkedIn. If you Google HAPPA, it will just come up top of your page.
Oh,
you can come
easy.
and see us. HAPPA.
Perfect. And Fresh Perspective, our website, www.fp-resourcing.co.uk. I'm on LinkedIn, Laura Leyland. Fresh is on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you want to find us. Hopefully you listen to this. Well, you could be listening to this on Spotify. We are on other podcast platforms. If you've enjoyed it, please give us a follow, leave us a review, and tell at least one other person about our podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.